Hello, hi everyone. I am Christina from Continent Surfer. So, as you know, our mission is to help individuals who plan to travel, study, or work abroad be as prepared as possible for their journey. So, our aim with these interviews that we bringing to you our partners or other individuals. Like tonight, I'm with the lovely Csilla. So all of these peoples are going to share their valuable experiences and insight, helping you navigate life abroad more confidently. So let me introduce you to Csilla. She is living in the United Kingdom at the moment, but her dream was always to travel and live literally in New Zealand. So, Chilla, please tell me what inspired you to travel to New Zealand, or why is New Zealand?
So actually, I seen a picture in 2018 about kind of the scenario was kind of like the same as at the background. Actually, it was the reflection of the Mount Cook in the Lake Matheson, and I really like that picture. That was which was inspiring me back then, and I just instantly fell in love with that picture, and I kept it. And I promised myself I'm gonna see it in real life, and I really would like to make it possible. But back at the time, it was for me like I was living in Hungary. I was living in like a simple life, and I was working for the government in the university, and that was just such a big dream to go there. And actually, in 2018, I didn't know too many people who's been already in New Zealand, so I haven't had any idea like how can I make it possible. But the only thing was I was sure I have to get the money, but from Hungary it was just like it's kind of like not impossible, but I said that it's not, maybe it's too big. My English wasn't confident at all, and actually I just didn't know where can I start. So I made a plan in 2018. I'm gonna go abroad to England just for a year maximum, and I'm gonna go to New Zealand straight away. But I actually moved out in 2019 January in England, and I stayed there for 4.5 years because of COVID. Obviously,
Oh,
I
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
So,
don't run that quick. That's all right. Thank you, Chilla. Because as I want to say, like, I mean, I fell in love with this picture, what is behind us. So
yeah.
I would definitely say as well, I would like to travel there. Since I moved Hungary as well, I'm not pretty much a person who would choose anything to live in.
Mhm.
It's different, obviously, to travel somewhere, to have a good journey, to have a good adventure, or to live there. It was a really hard decision, even. But when I moved to England, I knew I want to live here, but it was a long time ago. Obviously, life is changing, but I'm still fine. Like, okay, I'm living here. But yeah, I can see and hear on you, like, and definitely see this picture. Like, luckily, your dream kind of came true because you traveled there, and we will share a very nice pictures and all of your adventure, what's happened. But as the title says as well, is unfortunately still not a happy ending for you because we will see why. But what did you bring from New Zealand and all of this journey? We want to share with all of you guys because I think so it will help for a lot of you. So literally, it started, we can say, with a nice picture that inspired and motivated you. That it was in front of you. So we can definitely tell that like is a nice picture and the manifestation and like you see yourself there. It's happened because then, as you said, you had your plan from Hungary to you came to the UK, and then from here you started to plan to go to New Zealand. What was your preparation to go to New Zealand? As you said, you didn't know how much money you need, how you need it. So what was, obviously we all knew we need a sort of visa to go to New Zealand. So what was your visa? How did you get prepared to get this visa to travel to New Zealand?
So my visa options was obviously the easiest way was the working holiday visa. It's quite easy to get that. Hungarians basically they have a rule, so we can apply just one particular day per year. It's usually around April. Nowadays, maybe 2 times a year. I'm not quite sure, but back then it was just once a year. And so that was pretty easy. I thought, yeah, okay, I just have to be quick. I have to practice, but there is no issue. So that's the easiest way to get the visa to New Zealand. But frankly, because my journey was a bit different, so I set the plan in 2018, and actually, when I went there, it was 2023. So there's so many things happened, and still, I mean, I quite organized and I trying to plan everything ahead. That was still pretty much a long time to.
So let's a little bit talk about these few years it's already happened. So what happened? We all know obviously it was a COVID, but what else happened to you, if you share with us, which can make other people who's planning ahead be aware, like, okay, what could be the challenges, or obviously what you face as a challenges to get this visa or go there, if you can share with us.
It, I mean, to get the visa or apply, there is nothing really specific. There is just like basic data needs to be filled on the website, and yeah, you have to pay for the visa fee, and yeah, basically that's it. So there is no really, or not really, like actually, so English skills levels, you don't need like really good English skills or anything, so it's so easy to apply even if someone has basic English. The only thing was for me, the key point is the money. So how can I get that? And yeah, probably like someone is in a different situation, and there is not a big problem. But for me, yeah, it was just like, because I wanted to have comfortable life at the beginning over there, so I tried to make sure to save as much money as I could.
That's pretty much understandable, and obviously you are a independent but young woman, so you must be very brave, like when you decided in 2018, like, okay, let's just leave my home and my family behind and I'm going alone. Either as first step was England, but then it was New Zealand, so you're definitely very brave. And how did you feel about this, or how did it come to you, like, oh, okay, I have no doubts, I have no fears, just living alone? So let's inspire maybe other women and other girls as well to travel.
So when I left Hungary, I was really excited to live in England, because I wanted to improve my English, and I just wanted to be more independent, because at home I was pretty much dependent on my family. So I just wanted to make a change, and actually I grown up. So I've learned a lot of things, even though if my sister, she lives here, and actually she's not that far, and at the beginning we were living together. After that we just decided we're gonna probably it's better if we are separated, because she was my second mom at the beginning. But she was really cute. So yeah, she's still really close, and I love it. And yeah, it was really helpful. She was there at the beginning, but it was really challenging. So just going to a new country, set up everything, and those boring adult things like setting up a bank account and tax number and stuff like that. Actually, mine was kind of like not the nicest experience, because in 2019 when I came, Brexit was like a big thing and so many things happened. So mine was actually a really long process. So it took me 4 months to get everything sorted. And in here, obviously, you cannot work without a bank account or a tax number or anything. So I had to sort it out everything, and I couldn't work for 4 months. So that was, a really bad thing, because my goal was just to stay in here for a year, and after that to go to New Zealand, and it's been delayed, obviously.
Yeah, then COVID came and all the others, as you said, your money. But okay, you done very well. Literally, you've been so patient, and obviously, definitely was you are so determined to, and absolutely your dream to go to New Zealand. So then you applied for the visa, as you said. And when did you go to New Zealand? So when did you arrive there?
So because everything was kind of like unsure because of COVID, so I just checked the website 2 weeks before they opened for Hungarians. So I was kind of like rushing, like, oh, what should I do and how should I prepare? And I just basically had 2 weeks. And I applied 2 weeks before the deadline. I've got the visa, and after that you have 1 year to travel to New Zealand. And I almost took the whole year, so I went after 11 months or something, because I just wanted to make sure I have enough money at the beginning.
Okay. And so what was your first impression then when you arrived? Because it was almost your big dream to arrive there. And so how did it happen?
So I was pretty much tired, and my flight was 39 hours. So that was a really long journey, and that was my first overseas experience. So I never took any long haul flight before. So I kind of like crashed over there when I arrived, and my host was really nice. And he took care of me, and sorted out everything. So that was a really good experience, and obviously I was so excited, like I cannot believe I'm in Auckland, because I landed there, and there was a lot of palm trees, there was sunshine and so many things. So that was really, really good.
Okay. Can we talk about maybe that? Like, how did you find your host? So even when you applied for your visa, I'm not sure how does it work. If you in a few details you can share with others as well. Like, how did you find literally where you're going to have your accommodation? What was, sorry, your visa? So you needed, it was a working holiday, yeah, you said. So like you needed to find possibly a job as well, yeah? Or what was your plan literally for that time being in New Zealand?
So with the working holiday visa, it's pretty easy, because you don't have to have a job aligned beforehand. So that's an open visa. If you go there, you can take kind of like any type of jobs, except you cannot accept any permanent job. That's the kind of like one of the rules. But you could do whatever you want. So I wasn't worried about what I'm gonna do there. The only thing was just to find an accommodation. So I checked a few hostels, and I checked a few places to stay. But I decided at the first month I really would like to just do a volunteering, which I used a website that's called Help Exchange, which helped me to find an accommodation. And obviously, if I volunteering, or anyone would like to volunteer, so for food and for accommodation, you return some work, because I wouldn't say it's a hard job. It wasn't hard at all, to be honest. But I aligned for the first 2 weeks in Auckland, and the second 2 it was in Whangarei on a boat.
Right. They are very nice places.
Yeah.
So, and then around that, you could planning your journey and your travels to look around? Because obviously that was your main thing, I think. So you wanted to travel more in New Zealand and find all these places what we're going to share now in a few pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good at the beginning. So I had like a fixed plan, and after that I said, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow, and I'm gonna end up somewhere. And yeah, basically that's happened. So I didn't plan too much the rest of the journey. Probably I just wanted to have like a fixed first month, and yeah, that was
As
it.
I mentioned before, I bring up the pictures. So I think so. You've been very brave as a young woman to just travel on your own, especially the long travel, especially like sort of not really knowing where you ending up and how you're doing this stuff. So I absolutely honor you. But if you can share maybe a few tips, how did you prepare for that? Or obviously how your family felt about that? Most likely your sisters, or if you have family members back in Hungary, they were worrying about it. Even if you always talk about that you want to go to New Zealand, but maybe they were like, oh, okay, she going to forget it. But so how did they feel about this? And what's your main tips, like how you prepared and how you manage your feelings as well?
So to be honest, because I had this dream, but I wasn't there to say it out loud because yeah, I was always the smallest one from the family, and they were like, ah, yeah, okay, she's just dreaming, and that's it. So they didn't care about too much about my my things, so they didn't take me too seriously, and yeah, I just if I have a dream, I usually trying to keep it for myself because I don't want to jinx it. So if it's something really, really important, and that was something which I was just like, yeah, I'm dreaming and I'm thinking, but I'm not there to say out loud, even kind of like for myself too. And so I didn't tell anything to my parents in 2018. I told them when I've got the visa and before I left half a year before. Christmas time. It wasn't our best Christmas, to be honest, because we had a big fight. my sister
Wow.
my sister was really happy about, but my parents, they they did not really take it in a good way. So they said it's too far, and it's understandable, for
Yeah,
parents.
it's
They think
absolutely
it's
they worried about, and obviously they were thinking of obviously all the worst thing, especially if they don't know, if they haven't been there, like
yeah.
you going in like we could say is for us is New Zealand, Australia, that's part of the world, is the end of the world. So oh my god, how would you go there? And especially, but yeah, okay, so you came over that. Obviously they knew that you're going to go. You've been already an adult, as you said. I think so it was a good step that you first came to the UK or somewhere abroad from Hungary, and you've grown up and you have your own independent life. Okay, I bring up some pictures because I really love them. So let's share with the everybody else as well. And let's talk about these pictures, what we can see here, and all your memories, please.
So that was kind of like towards the end of my journey. It's basically like I think in the last week. That picture is at the Lake Tekapo, which is a really special place to me. That it just looks incredible. Like in real life, that lake looks exactly the same. And for me, it's like a lake and the mountains and snow tops on the behind. It's just like it just melts my heart. So
Yeah.
that's an accommodation where we stayed that night with my flatmate, and actually we stayed with a Swiss couple. So yeah, they were just super nice, and yeah, it was just amazing trip because that place is really famous about the dark sky reserve,
Okay.
how they called. So we were stargazing, and yeah, we did a lot of things, and yeah, it's just one of my favorite memory, and that it just looks amazing. It was really, really cold though, so we were Yeah, winter jackets and everything. And actually, it was snow around.
That's very
Just
pretty. Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much. It's an amazing picture, definitely. And you made a very nice picture. And as you said as well, like you have been there, and obviously you met with a lot of other peoples. Have you made new friends in over the journey?
yeah, yeah. It's actually, I could say, like all of my friends now in New Zealand. It's so easy to meet new people and so easy to meet friends, real friends, because basically, like people who's ended up there and traveling there, they genuinely like really open, and it's
Mhm.
so easy to connect with them. So yeah, I met just beautiful people over
So it's
there.
more likely the peoples as well, like you, who travel to New Zealand, or even the local peoples are really helpful and friendly.
Both. So local people is basically like family to me, because they just, yeah, genuinely like really really helpful. And I met, yeah, so many people around the world who's probably I wouldn't be able to meet in
Mhm.
England, mainly in Leeds where I'm living, because it's not as international. But over there, yeah, it's just it's, yeah, like I said, it's both. So
That's
travelers are beautiful and locals, yeah.
Yeah, you made me think to travel there. Yeah. So who is this lovely cute dog?
um, this one is actually happened in Dunedin. That's my car actually, and that doggy, she's Beyonce.
Wow.
And I was keep an eye on her for a few weeks actually, because I was doing helpex at the end as well. So
Mhm.
when I basically finished with my working holiday visa, I stayed there on a tourist visa, and I was doing helpex in a beautiful place. And she was one of the doggy. I really liked her, and I just picked up her because she escaped the night before. So I had to pick up her
Oh,
from the shelter.
wow.
And
Yeah.
she made herself really cozy at my clean car.
Nice. So like, it actually looks like you traveled with a nice car or a van,
Yeah,
or I don't know how it's called,
I
and
loved it. That was my home.
that's nice. Okay. Um, okay. It looks like you somewhere as a working, or you're doing something here.
Yeah, so that picture is I took it at the Otago University because that was my dream to work at the Otago University as a dental nurse. So that's my
Okay.
profession, and I was working in the Semmelweis University in Hungary, and I was working at the Leeds Dental University in England too. So obviously, my plan was towards end of my working holiday visa, I'm gonna get the job there, and I'm gonna swap for a work visa. And I actually achieved it. So I was working as a dental assistant there, and I really loved that job. But yeah, the working visa did not happen in the end.
Wow. So yeah, this is where we ending up, as the title unfortunately says. You needed to leave New Zealand, but we will go in more details. What happened, or like, what do you feel it's happened? Yeah, you definitely look like very happy here, and that, as you said, like in your own profession, you can work somewhere, and it sounds really pretty good for me. Wow, that's a very energetic picture. Where is this?
This one happened actually at the Doubtful Sound. So the Doubtful Sound is not as popular, maybe. I mean, it's popular, but the Milford Sound is more popular. The Doubtful Sound, I think it's million times better.
Mhm.
It's not as crowded, and actually part of my job was to because back then I was working as a lodge assistant in a beautiful lodge, and they asked me to do some activities around the lodge, so I can tell the travelers and the guests like how is this experience actually. And that was an overnight cruise, which was the one of the best thing I have ever done in my whole life. It's the whole place is so remote, and it was just a really touching experience. To stay on a boat, I met really nice people as well, and actually after that I was able to tell about the guests, like how is this experience. It was amazing. That was a really good job.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's lovely. I really love that, and have your So that's another lovely picture. It looks like it's always so. When was the time you have been there? And it looks like it's always was cold, so it was a winter time.
Yeah, that was so that's around in the Milford Sound. So that's one of the
Mhm.
track what you could do around the Milford Sound. So if you go there and you're gonna do the Milford Sound, you could choose some walking tracks as well. And this is the
Mhm.
Lake Marion track, which I really wanted to do because that was again around the Fjordland where I was living, and they asked me to do some hikes as well. So that was one of the hike I took. And that one actually happened, I think, in maybe March or something.
Mhm.
So that is autumn over there.
Yeah, for that.
But autumn is actually in the South Island, mainly in the deep south. It's not exist. So you kind of skip autumn and you go straight away to winter.
Oh,
So yeah, that was a
okay,
bit
yeah,
cold.
yeah. Okay, let's see. I think so. We have looks like another nice. That's a summertime, definitely, and it's a nice campervan. It looks like your home.
Yeah, my home. I was freedom camping for a few weeks before I ended up in the Fjordland. So I came from the top of the South Island, and I was traveling through to the deep south.
Wow.
And I was living in my car, and that was the best free campsite I have ever stayed, because this picture is a bit small, but so at the background you could see that lake. It was exactly
Yeah,
the same, and like it's so bright and beautiful. And at the background you could see the Mount Cook. So I got up for this for this view, and like, wow, that's like a 5-star
yeah,
view from my
yeah.
van.
I'm sure you didn't regret, and I think so. Even your family, after this adventure and your memories, they can't regret that you literally you made this travel. Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did great.
they know like how beautiful
Yeah,
is.
it's absolutely it is. Yeah, we have already picture about this. I think so. You said this was the kind of scenario what you've seen, and you decided you wanna see this in life and travel to New Zealand, isn't it? Is this picture?
It's not. It's just quite similar to
Mhm.
that, but that's actually the Tasman Tasman Glacier, which I did, and I met a really amazing woman actually on that hike. She was over 60. She was coming from Germany, I think, and she was
Oh,
doing the whole hike around the top of the North Island to the end of the South Island, and it took months to go there. And actually, she was doing by herself for months, and that was
wow.
amazing. And she took that picture.
Yeah, right. That's definitely, as you said as well, you made so much friends,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's all fine. Is there something similar, or is anything to do
yeah.
with?
That was on one of the road trip when I
Mhm.
went into the Mount Cook village. And yeah, it's just like how beautiful is that? Is like no one's on the road, and you could see the
Yeah,
Mount Cook. And yeah, it's just pretty amazing. Like I really like the drive there, because it's so nice. You could just, yeah, like the whole road is for yourself, and no
wow,
one's you.
wow. Let's talk about this driving, or like as you said, like you just sitting in a camper van and you drive. Have you drive before, or like you have any experience, or you just said as well is everybody's doing this, so let's do make it fun, or how does it happen? Because it makes me like I'm not even sure I'm living here for many years now, and I would like just go on my own for a free campsite or something like that.
Mhm. So I got my license in Hungary in don't know,
Oh,
don't know,
yeah.
long time ago. And actually, I did not wanted to have a driving license, but I was kind of like forced to have. So I've got it, and I didn't use it at all, not even in England, because the traffic was too heavy for me, and in Hungary the driving is not as pleasant. So I actually haven't used it for 8 years before I started to use in New Zealand. And I got a first car, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna drive. And it was so crazy. After I think 8 years without any experience and stuff like that. My first drive was basically in New Zealand, Auckland from Whangarei, which actually I think it's a 2 hours drive, but it took for me like 6 hours or something because I was so tired. But after that, it became much more better, and I really enjoyed the driving there. Yeah.
Okay, so and then you just decided like, okay, let's go, and I can go with this camper and going to travel around. It sounds really crazy, but I absolutely love it as you made it, and it's really good to like you can share this story as well. But kind of like ending your story, as we said, is maybe just I ask about the you made a lot of friends and met new peoples. If you can share with us someone who wants to be prepared before you go to the details, why is it not a happy ending? But what was the challenges? What you most likely like common challenges? What you believe like people can facing when traveling to New Zealand, or what you recommend to be prepared to travel and do this working holiday? Because it sounds like okay, I'm just doing it. I've got my money and I travel there, and we shared a lot of nice picture, but it's mostly not just like that. So what you could give like most top tips someone who wants to travel?
To be honest, like if you have the confidentially, like you have not a lot of money, but you have money, you don't have to worry about too many things because it's so easy to find jobs. So it's always like for me it was like really convenient. So the longest time for me, it took me 2 days to get a job, but because I was really specific, so I really wanted to work in a farm, and I was looking for fruit picking jobs in a place which wasn't actually made for fruit picking. So that's why it took me 2 days. But apart from that, I've got a job in between half an hour, so I haven't had to worry about anything. And basically, like if you can get a car at the beginning and you could travel, it's basically that's your oyster, and you could go wherever you would like. For me, they always really appreciated I was organized. And because I'm over 30, I'm kind of like towards to 35, they really liked I have work experience, so it was really beneficial. And they just like even help exchange or anything, they really appreciated like I kind of like a grown-up person, because there is a lot of backpackers who's like from Germany or France or something, and they just over 18, and their first experience is like there is a lot of young people, and they always really appreciate someone who has some work experience and life experience before. So I could understand like some people, they struggled to find some jobs, but because of lack of work experience. So I try to not to stress about what's gonna happen, and I try to go with the flow, and I trust the process basically, which actually turned out, I think, pretty good. Even though if I had my challenges over there, obviously.
Yeah. So literally what's happened, because as you said, your plan was that, and you even got the job as a in a what was that, the university. So what was your plan, and why is it like you actually needed to come back to you decided to come back to the UK? So why is not a happy ending for you? What didn't go out well? You couldn't stay or like expand your visa?
It's still not like 100% clear what's happened on or what went wrong. I just have some thoughts about like what
Mhm.
kinda I think I did something wrong. So yeah, my dream was obviously to work at the Otago University, which I thought because it's a big company and it would be really easy to sort out the visa. I was like, okay, if they can sort it out, who else could sort it out a work visa for me? Frankly, if I would change my working holiday visa beforehand, so everything changed in April, like 7th of April. So like so many things with the working visa, and that was the time when I was applying for. So that's why everything became much more harder. So if I would, first of all, if I would have been much more quicker, that would be easier. And if I would choose another company, not a university, because the university is like the bureaucracy and the paperwork and everything, it took so long. If I would go for a private company, that would be much more faster. Now that's what I could think of. That was the main reason why I haven't got it, because I ran out of the time, and it wasn't because of me. It was because the paperwork took so much time and effort. And in the university, it's not just like an instant thing. Someone's gonna decide it. Okay, we like her, so we're gonna hire her. It has to go through so many stages and so many people. So probably that was the biggest problem.
Oh, I'm really sorry it didn't happen. But could it be happen? Or if anybody, you still on a journey, or you still have a chance to make any sort of working experience back in New Zealand, or would you move there? Obviously, I think so. You would move there. It's quite clear. Anytime if it's possible. But do you still have a good chance, or do you still on a progress to find a way to there back?
No, it's actually probably, everything now, it's like every opportunities, it has been closed, so the university is not gonna work out. I was trying to find private places, but because of the changes, it's impossible at the moment. Probably I would have to take some other courses or something. So it's not impossible, but it's not now.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. Right. Yeah. So literally your year, and you said you a little bit had a little extra tourist visa. It went well. So I'm really appreciate your time to be here and that you shared these lovely pictures. And it made me think as well to maybe just travel as a tourist there, to be honest with you. And thank you very much to share this. And I really hope that you will find your other way maybe to still, never say never, and don't give up your dreams is definitely. I can tell you, and someone who listened to us, I think so, would say as well. I know it's not that easy, obviously, to go to work to New Zealand. All of us know, but yes, definitely don't give up your dreams, because it's absolutely looks beautiful to live there, and I'm sure you have all your skills to be there, and I'm sure you would be a really good benefit to them to work even with this university or with any other company who you could. And really thank you for these lovely pictures. It was amazing. So thank you very much for your time, Csilla, for tonight. Okay.
Thank you so much for your time too.
Continent surfing without taboos. Interviews with people who have already done it. Long-form conversations with our partners who answer your questions. We now reach more than 30 countries. Avoid painful surprises. Subscribe now.